The biggest mistake real estate wholesalers make today. Guys, it's Rick in with Flip with Rick, and you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, smash that like button, and continue to receive the absolute best free wholesaling information right here on Flip with Rick. The single biggest mistake that wholesalers make in real estate. You guys ready for it? I'm going to do like a little bit of a drum roll. It's only doing wholesaling. So let me explain myself. When I first started in this business way back in 2003, I discovered this little niche called wholesaling. Now, I didn't discover it. I just used it because people have used it for the last 50 years before me to accrue a lot of wealth in real estate quickly with little to no risk of their own capital, even when they had no money. And let's face it, this is probably why you're so attracted to Flip with Rick, and I love wholesaling. I want you to get started in wholesaling. I actually want to teach you how to do wholesaling for free because I feel with today's technology and everything out there, the information should be free. So I want to teach you how to do your first deal. So in my 18 years of experience in doing wholesaling, specifically in real estate, the one thing you want to understand and learn is wholesaling is a starting strategy. You will always use it in your toolbox to be able to take any deals down. And that's great, especially in your first year. To be honest with you, I wholesaled way too long. I did it in my first 3 years, and I allowed people to make so much money off me, but I was okay with it. I just didn't have the guts to learn other strategies to be able to maximize my real estate fortunes. And I got stuck in my wholesaling niche. I got really comfortable and complacent. Let me start out by saying wholesaling is the single best starter strategy to get started in real estate investing. Let me repeat that. Wholesaling is the absolute best way to get started in real estate investing. You know why? Because number one, you are limiting your risk. Actually, there is some risk, but it's very, very limited. If you're doing it right, you're using very little of your own capital, and you're using your marketing skills to get great deals under contract and sell them to cash buyers. That's it in a nutshell. That's the entire course right there. The reason why wholesaling is so effective outside of what I just told you, which is limiting your risk, is it allows you to prove your own business model. So there's something about wholesaling when you go out and do it, and some people take a year to get it done. Some people take like a couple days and they get a contract and they make a phenomenal amount of money. But what happens is when you wholesale a property is it allows you to prove the theory of wholesaling. And by the way, it's up to you to prove the theory of wholesaling. It's what's going to give you the confidence to be ultimately a very successful real estate investor. I know that wholesaling is the right step. So if you watch really good businesses that take off, you always test the theory out first. So that's why I want you to get started wholesaling. If you can get a property under contract, get a really good deal on it, you bust your butt and do the marketing, whatever method you pick, and then you find a cash buyer to buy it without really putting any of your own money down other than like a basic deposit, you just proved you can probably make $5, $10, $15, $20,000. And that's the beauty of wholesaling, guys. And so you're probably asking, okay, hey, Rick, I'm getting started in wholesaling. That's what I want to do. The minute you prove that wholesaling model with your own hard work, it's a game changer. Everything changes in your life. I know when I did my first deal, I've talked about this before, I made $10,000 just by networking, finding a deal, finding a cash buyer, and they paid me 10 grand. And I was almost in shock. And to this date, there's nothing that makes me happier than when you have a light bulb goes off in your head and you apply the teachings that you learn for free here at Flip with Rick and you make money. Not only does that $10,000 prove it to you, which is the most important person, it proves it to your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your spouse, your kids, your family, showing, hey, this really works. Once you know it works, then you keep expanding on it. Do more wholesale deals, and you keep proving it. It keeps refortifying that this business works. The worst types of businesses you can see are people who open up like a brick and mortar shop and say, you know, I want to do a pet shop. They don't do any research on what the market is, what's going on. They invest in this huge lease. They spend all this money building it out. They get all these fancy systems to find out they're going to have to work 12, 14 hours a day, 6 to 7 days a week to most likely break even and get their butt kicked over multiple years period. The reason why wholesaling works is you can prove this theory within 90 days. I've seen it done over and over. I know I did it. I know my son Zach did it, and I know you can do it. So wholesaling, get started there. What I want you to do is, after you've done X amount of deals, like whatever you choose, maybe you set it at 6, maybe you set it at 10, 12. I want you to expand your knowledge. You are bigger than just being a wholesaler. Full record, 18 years in, I still wholesale properties. You know which properties I wholesale? The ones I don't want to invest my time, my energy, and my team's effort in, because I can actually make the similar amount of money and cut out all that crap in the middle just by wholesaling it. So you will always use wholesaling. The biggest secret you need to know is you can do so much more than wholesaling. So I'm going to kind of go through a list of what I do, and I kind of do them in orders of importance. And if you follow these ideas, and remember, you don't have to learn this all right now. Get started wholesaling, prove it. But as you get better and better at this, you'll have more opportunities. And then you might have the ability to take a property all the way to market and maximize the highest and best return for it. Now, not every deal works out that way. So as you wholesale, maybe you wholesale after your 5th or 6th deal, maybe you take one property and maybe you do another strategy. So what are other strategies? Number one, you can keep the property. You can use it as a rental. You can go get your own financing if you want. Usually buying 1 or 2 investment properties is pretty easy if you have the resources and the income for it. Just make sure the rents work really well. I will advise you on this. Please, the properties you buy, try to keep within 20 miles of your house. In my experience, that is the key difference. Once you have to go out further, it gets harder. And I want you to primarily focus on wholesaling in the beginning. So don't get one that's in another state unless you have a business partner or you have family in that state that will help you out. So what do I do after wholesaling? Work is simple. Look for a wholesale. How can I get a wholesale deal? It's just another strategy. It's a little bit more advanced in wholesaling. And by the way, it works in all markets. A wholesale is nothing more than when you take a property that's in decent condition, meaning it doesn't need a lot of rehab. Maybe it needs a little bit of pressure cleaner. One of my favorite tools in a wholesale deal. Maybe it needs a paintbrush, or maybe it needs a new set of appliances. So on a typical wholesale deal, our rehab timeline on it is a maximum, try to do 2 weeks. Some are a little bit more advanced. And what I'm trying to avoid is going into rehabs. You do not want to get in the rehab business. It's a whole nother ball of wax. And until you have a couple of years on your belt, don't even try it, because you never know what you're going to make at the end on a rehab. So when you do a wholesale, you're almost 95% sure exactly what you're going to make. So wholesale, you can do a wholesale. A wholesale is a light rehab, usually 7 to 14 days rehab. The main thing is you have to get a partner to help you fund the deal, carry it out. A typical wholesale deal usually gets bought and sold within 60 days. The maximum you ever want to own a property in a wholesale deal is 90 days. After 90 days, if you can't sell it, you're asking too much or you paid too much for it. So the next one we talked about, we're already going to do rentals. Now with rentals, learn the subject to market. I'm not going to teach it in this video. We have plenty of videos. Zach shared it with you. There's no secrets in this business. Once you learn how to do a subject to, you really limit your risk, and you can leverage owning properties using other people's loans. But it's fully disclosed. They want to do it. And that's a dynamite way to really maximize your real estate investing strategies. If somebody has a property that they're willing to hand over the loan for you, and maybe you're paying a little bit more because that's the only way you can take the deal down, then why not do a subject to? The subject to you can keep, you can use it for resale. It's up to you. Guys, do you kind of get it? I'm trying to expand your mind. Wholesaling is just a starting strategy. You will always use it. Think about this. When you learn to do basic math in school, you still use it, but for the most part, let's face it, we use calculators, we use advanced software, but like I can do, basic things. If a house costs $100,000 and he's willing to accept $80,000, I can probably make a minimum of a $10,000 assignment fee on it. I use it. I never forget it. It's like riding a bike. Wholesaling is the same thing. Always use it. I like to wholesale properties that need $70,000 to $100,000 in rehab because I know the amount of time and energy it takes, and my investment, my ROI on that is completely unknown. The subject twos is an awesome strategy, and it allows you to do much more in wholesaling. Another thing you can do is also, if you have some synergies in your market, you have someone that you like to work with, someone that's really good with like pay-per-click or like marketing, or in the perfect world, if you wanted to do some light rehab projects, I highly advise against it because I did it for a long time and I wound up getting in the construction business and I got out of the marketing wholesaling business, and I don't want you to make the same mistakes I did. So the only way I advise anyone to ever go into rehab, if you have a family member, a partner you really trust, or a highly established relationship 5 years plus with a contractor that is out for the bottom line with you. If you just hire a contractor and get into rehab and you get in your first one or two, don't be surprised if you only break even, because they're going to take advantage of what little knowledge you know, and you have no idea the order, the sequence that goes for the rehab, the timeline, and the money, and they're just going to yes you to death. So the only time I ever got in trouble in this business was doing way too many rehabs, and I got into project management, and I just hated every minute. So project management on a rehab, you have to go to their job site 7 to 8 in the morning, see if Johnny shows up, and then you got to go back and check on the job site multiple times each week to see the progress. And usually you're being hit with another bill. They're telling you how much longer it takes. And before you know it, your holding costs go through the roof, and you're not investing anymore. You're just trying to get out from all this debt. So listen to me. We are going to start out in wholesaling. I love it. You know why? Because it allows you to prove your business model. And I know it's the fastest way to accumulate real estate wealth. Now, to truly build legacy and wealth in this business, you're going to have to do more in wholesaling. Don't worry. It's not that big a deal. Once you have some money in your pocket, you have strategies, you have nothing but options. Then you can go into wholesaling, you can go into rentals, you can go into subject twos. And if you decide to go into rehabs, make sure you have a strategy before you go into it. And your strategy can't just be hiring a contractor out of the blue. You have no relationship with it, and you're going to flip and make $100,000 on a property. Remember, when you wholesale, you minimize your risk. When you go to rehab, you maximize your risk. You want to find a balance between little to no risk to some risk. Now, if I'm going to take risk, the reward has to be substantially higher. Guys, this is a strategy. It took me so long to figure it out, and I want to share with you. I love wholesaling. And you might say, I'm only going to do wholesaling. It's attractive, but you do leave some money on the table with wholesaling. There's certain deals, like if you know in your neighborhood, you got 322, it's in ridiculous demand and it only needs like a light paint job, or maybe it just needs an updated bathroom. To me, that is, if you know exactly what the cost is in the time frame, unfortunately, it does take experience to figure out those numbers. Then go ahead and do that deal. So if you were going to make $15,000 on an assignment, and by taking it down and taking an extra maybe 45 days, you can turn that 15 into 45. Go for it. Find a partner to help you out. Find someone to help you finance it. But make sure you have an established relationship with a contractor. Guys, this is probably the biggest mistake wholesalers make today. They're a one set mind. They want to do wholesaling. And the problem is you've got to expand. I want you to expand. Start out wholesaling. Sky's the limit. And there is enough information right here on the Flip with Rick channel. All of these strategies I discussed, from wholesaling to rental subject to, we actually teach you step by step to do it. And the crazy thing is, I want you to get started in wholesaling without paying a guru, because this information is like learning your alphabets. It should be absolutely free. They always say, hey, Rick, Zach, why are you doing this? Because the more people we help, the more we get rewarded. And that's the bottom line. So if we can create a movement where we just provide knowledge, we all connect and create a community to help each other out. I love real estate. Like, I am truly in this because I've been doing it 18 years and I've never switched my job. This is what I love to do. It's not a job, it's a passion. So if you do what you love, it's great. The reality is I don't really love real estate. I love nice real estate, but I love helping people out. Wholesaling is the right place for you. Just don't get stuck and be a one-trick pony in wholesaling. You have so many more skills you can bring to the table, and we're happy to help you out here. Guys, if you like this information, if you want to continue to receive the best free wholesaling content, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, smash that like button, share this video with someone you think would benefit from it, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks, guys.